Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the St. Mark's Kids Chat. In this week's lesson, we are in Mark chapter 1, verses 29 through 39, and it's about when Jesus heals, prays, and preaches. So last week, you guys remember he was at a synagogue and he was driving out an impure spirit, also known as a demon, right? You remember that from last week? So this week, he's going to do some even more amazing things that we're going to learn about this week. So when he left the synagogue, he was with James and John, and remember his disciples, who he had called the fishermen guys. And then they went over to Simon Peter and Andrew's house. Remember, they were family as well. And so Simon and Peter, remember how his name is Simon? It says his name is Simon in the Bible right now, but later he's kind of called Peter. So remember, I'm just going to refer to him as Simon Peter, just so that you guys know who I'm talking about. Simon Peter's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever. She wasn't feeling good at all. And guess what? Jesus reached out his hands. Take my hands back. So reached out his hands to his mother-in-law. And she was in bed, pretend like you're really feverish and sick and not feeling good, and lifted her up out of bed, and then all of a sudden, she felt better. And it says in the Bible that the fever left her body, and she began serving her guests. So if you're feeling sick, do you feel like serving guests and having people over at your house and getting them food and drinks and things like that? Usually not, right? So it says in there that she started serving her guests. And it was amazing. So everybody had heard what had happened, right? So because they had just heard about what he did in the synagogue, prior to that, and they just heard about what he did with healing the sick, which was Simon Peter's mother-in-law. So tons and tons and tons of people started bringing all of their sick family members and friends, and all of the demon-possessed people that they knew in their little town. And it says that the whole town was gathered at their door, waiting to see Jesus and bring their sick family members and demon-possessed family members to Jesus to be healed. So that's pretty amazing, right? Can you imagine a whole town knocking on your door saying, "Hey, let us in and heal my family members." So it just shows just how amazing. Yeah, it would be a long line. It would be a long line. So. Anyways, but it was interesting. It's when he was healing the demon-possessed folks, it said in the Bible that Jesus wouldn't let them speak after, they had been taken out of their bodies.
I wonder why.
So, yeah, it was interesting. So I'm wondering if Jesus wanted his own words and his own actions to speak louder than a demon's words, right? Because if it comes out of someone who's good's mouth better than somebody else's who's bad's mouth, which is best, right? Because the demons knew who they were. Remember last week in our lesson, it said that the demon said, "Jesus of Nazareth," right? Remember, they knew who he was, so they knew how powerful he was. So it says that he didn't let the demons speak this time around. Which was interesting. So the next morning, it was dark outside. It was still very, very early in the morning. And Jesus went to go pray alone in solitude. So solitude means it's by yourself, and it's in a really quiet place where you feel like you can really, focus on talking to God. And Simon, Peter, and all of his companions were like, where is Jesus? And they finally found him. They said, "Everyone is looking for you." And guess what Jesus said?
What?
He said, "Let's go somewhere else to some other nearby village, and so that I can preach there," right? He says, "This is what I have come to do." So why do you think that he wanted to go to another village after that?
Because probably everyone was looking for him, and it was really loud.
Maybe it was really loud, yeah. Or, he knew that there was more people to help, right? So that's what his goal was. He was coming there to be able to help more and more people. So let's do a quick little demonstration really quick about our lesson. I'm going to bring our camera down here a little bit so that you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so what I have here is I have a penny, right? So I'm going to put that penny kind of like right here. And then I'm going to put this pink paper here so you can kind of see it, because it's hard to kind of see it on our countertop. So I'm going to put it on top of this just so that you're able to see it. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a cup right over it. Actually, I'm going to move it over here so that it's a little bit brighter so that you guys can see it's not right in front of Max's face. So I'm going to put a cup over it. Can you still see the penny in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So look down closely, like go down right here so that you can kind of see what happens. Watch what happens when I pour water into it. Look closely at the penny. Look down. Ready? What happened?
Where did it go?
I know. Did the penny disappear? Pretty amazing, right? So it just goes to show that Jesus can perform miracles, right? Just like Simon Peter's mother-in-law was sick, right? And he took the fever away. Jesus did the exact same thing.
With the penny.
Right? Right. So that's just a demonstration to show that Jesus, he can take away demons from inside of people, and he can heal the sick, and he can do so many miracles. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. So let me ask you something. Do you think that you can take away somebody's sickness the way that Jesus can? Probably not, right? But remember how in that last part of the lesson it said that they wanted to go to other villages, and he wanted to go and he wanted to help other people, right? Mm-hmm. Does that show that Jesus is compassionate, right? And that he doesn't want to stick around just where, he's popular, right? He wants to go and help as many people as he can, right? So what can you guys do if somebody is sick? What do you guys think?
Maybe help them.
You could help them. Maybe if somebody's got a boo-boo, you could bring them a Band-Aid. Or if they're sick, you could bring them some vitamin C or something like that. So if you're taking care of people, are you showing them compassion the way that Jesus was showing them compassion and being a great helper for them? Exactly. So even though we might not be able to take away, all of the sicknesses just like Jesus can, only Jesus can do something like that. But you guys can be compassionate, loving people just like Jesus. So that was the kind of the moral of our story this week, is that you guys can be loving and caring to people around you as well. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.